Good evening, and thank you for joining us at the 2022 New South Wales Australian of the Year Awards. I'm Serene Damaki from ABC Radio, and it's my great pleasure to be your host this evening in the beautiful setting of Luna Park. In this year of all years, the Aussie spirit has come to the fore. This year has provided an opportunity for Australians to gather and reflect on a difficult year. Pay respect to the sacrifice of thousands of first responders and frontline workers who have put their safety and well-being of others before their own. And to celebrate our collective effort to protect our communities and help each other during the COVID-19 global pandemic. Through natural disasters and coronavirus lockdowns, our nation's heroes have inspired awe with their selfless acts. It's times like these when inspiration's needed most, and you have all inspired us in different ways. We're reminded that resilience is part of Australia's DNA, and the Australian of the Year Awards program is committed to showcasing extraordinary members of our community. The 2022 Australian of the Year nominees are people who inspire courage, sacrifice, and kindness. We look forward to celebrating all 16 stories tonight. To those in the room tonight, welcome. We're so glad you are here with us in person to celebrate these incredible Australians while staying COVID safe, of course. I would like to officially welcome Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beazley, Governor of New South Wales, and Mr Dennis Wilson, the Honourable Dominic Perrottet, Premier of New South Wales, Andrew Parker, Chair of the Australia Day Council of New South Wales, Carly Brand, Chief Executive, National Australia Day Council, our current 2021 New South Wales Australian of the Year recipients who are here with us this evening, Shane Fitzsimmons, Rosemary Kariuki, and Nathan Parker. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. And to those of you watching online at home, hello from Luna Park, Sydney. We hope you enjoy the show. This evening, you are welcome to join us in recognising our heroes by posting on social media. So please do share and show your support by using hashtag #OzOfTheYear across Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. That's hashtag #OzOfTheYear. I'd now like to invite Yvonne Weldon to welcome us to country.
Hello, Governor, the Honourable Margaret Beazley, QC AO, Mr Dennis Wilson, Premier, my fellow New South Wales Australia Day Council members, ladies, gentlemen, sisters and brothers. I also would like to acknowledge our former Premier, who had a major impact on this program year in and year out. My name is Yvonne Weldon. I am a Wiradjuriwan from Cowra here in New South Wales. I'm from the waters of the Clare, which later became known as the Lachlan, and of the Murrumbidgee Rivers. I am the elected Deputy Chairperson of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, who are the culture authority under the Aboriginal Land Rights Act for the land we are on. I would like to pay my respects to all elders past and present, to all First Nations, to you and the many nations of lands that are represented online here this evening. We are on the lands of the Eora Nation. The boundaries of our traditional owners are not defined by the hand or by the pen, but through the natural landscapes of the earth. The Eora Nation's country covers the Hawkesbury River in the north, the Nepean in the west, and the Georges River in the south. My people have practiced our traditions for thousands of years and endless generations. One tradition that is shared in various forms across Australia is a welcome to country. It is more than just words, it is a spiritual process, by honouring the ancestors' footsteps we are all walking in, continuing the practice of the many generations before us to the many generations to come. My people have been a part of this land for more than 60,000 years. We are the oldest living culture of the world. And on behalf of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, the elders and the members, I welcome everyone to the land of the Cammeraygal. I acknowledge the Cammeraygal people whose spirits and ancestors will always remain with these lands, our Mother Earth. The First Nations of this continent are the most resilient, unique and sustainable people on the planet. For my people to survive for as long as we have, it's been through a continual practice of respect, a collaboration, understanding and a willingness to come together. There are many Aboriginal warriors that have crossed this land before all of us, creating pathways before there were any. And to give respect and honour, could you all please pause for a moment to remember the many sacrifices that have been made along the way, the ones we will continue to make, and those we shouldn't have to. Tonight, it is about acknowledging you and the commitment you have given to so many. You are already winners. We all are because of you, with or without the award. No matter what walks of life we all come from, we all need to support each other, bring out hidden heartaches to share, and bringing us all a strength together. The road travelled alone is the longest, hardest road there is. I will join you, and you can join me. All of us together can bring about positive changes to multiple generations. We are in this together. And as we ponder over the last year or two, whether you think about the land, our culture, our history, the devastating impacts of past and current times, or the resilience of all of our people, know that the answers to everyone in this country should always commence with the Aboriginal people first, because we are the first people of this country. We need to stand together, walk together, and make a difference together. So with that said, let us all draw upon my people's spirits as we continue on our journey. May my people's spirits walk with you and guide you as we strive forward for us all. Again, on behalf of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Council, welcome to Cammeraygal land. This always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Yvonne, for your very warm welcome to country. I now invite you all to stand, if you are able, as the ED Musos perform the National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you to the ED Musos. We'll welcome them back later in the show to perform for us again. Please be seated. Thank you. If you are new to the Australian of the Year Awards, tonight we celebrate inspiring Aussies across 4 categories: Australia's local hero, Young Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, and the Australian of the Year. Importantly, the 16 nominees you are about to meet inspired someone else and were nominated, sometimes anonymously, for their inspiration, contribution, and excellence. They are people who constantly demonstrate courage, resilience, and selflessness. Those who roll up their sleeves to help their community. People whose determination and sacrifice not only save lives, but help enrich them. Pioneers who started a revolution because they could no longer sit by and watch. People who kept going against adversity to encourage and support others. Our nominations process is open to the public 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and anyone can nominate anybody who inspires them. We received thousands of nominations this year, reflecting the enormous challenges we've faced together. For those nominations, our New South Wales panel has selected the 16 incredible people who are being celebrated this evening. One recipient will be announced in each category. These 4 will then go on to join the other state and territory recipients at the National Awards on the eve of Australia Day, announced by the Prime Minister and broadcast live on ABC TV and iView, so be sure you tune in then. Whatever the outcome this evening, all our nominees richly deserve to be here. We congratulate them for reaching this important stage of the nation's most prestigious awards program. Please join me in congratulating them. I'll now invite Andrew Parker, Chair of the Australia Day Council of New South Wales, to share some words. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you, Serene, very much, and thank you, Yvonne Weldon, for your inspiring welcome to country and all the work you do as Deputy Chair of the Australia Day Council of New South Wales and the thoughtfulness that you bring to the Council. Could I too begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land on which we are meeting tonight and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And thank you to the Honourable Dominic Perrottet, the Premier of New South Wales, for being here tonight and to present the awards. We are also joined, as you heard, by Her Excellency, the Honourable Margaret Beazley, the Governor of New South Wales, and for us, very importantly, the patron of Australia Day and the Council of New South Wales, and Mr Dennis Wilson, and Carly Brand, the Chief Executive of the National Australia Day, and my fellow board members from both New South Wales and the Australian national bodies. The Australia Day Council of New South Wales works very closely in partnership with the National Australia Day Council to present the Australian of the Year awards, and it is a great collaboration. Earlier in the year, I had the privileged yet very challenging role of chairing the selection panel in New South Wales. We deliberated for many, many hours, as you heard, from many, many nominations to select the very best. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the selection panel members for their contribution and what was a significant and thoughtful debate. So tonight we have the great honour of celebrating the remarkable achievements of 16 individuals who are making an incredible difference. And as Her Excellency the Governor said at the afternoon event at Government House this afternoon, not just for New South Wales but for Australia and internationally. So to all our New South Wales nominees for the 2022 Australian of the Year Awards, congratulations. We are recognising and celebrating your outstanding and diverse achievements, the time you have given to those in need. You've worked tirelessly to improve lives of this generation and undoubtedly the next, and you have dedicated years, if not decades, to your work. The Australia Day Council of New South Wales recognises that the past year has been incredibly difficult for many communities across New South Wales and the nation. But we believe Australia Day 2022 is a time to reconnect and walk together towards a positive and optimistic future. This Australia Day, we encourage the community to reflect, to respect and to celebrate our nation and our people, especially our strong sense of community as we emerge from the pandemic. Importantly, Australia Day means different things to different people. Our program acknowledges the significant contribution that everyone makes to our nation, from our First Nations people who have lived here for 65,000 years to our newer citizens, many of whom will take their citizenship ceremony on Australia Day and have chosen to call Australia home. So Australia Day is an opportunity to celebrate our First Nations people, our cultural diversity and our rich migrant heritage. It's a day for Australians from all backgrounds and communities to come together, to share stories, to embrace our diversity and celebrate our unity. And I think that's on very clear display in the room here tonight. For 2022, many much-loved Australia Day traditions in Sydney and New South Wales are back, and they will be staged in a COVID-safe way. The Sydney program will champion the vibrant and diverse state of New South Wales and reignite Sydney Harbour as it reclaims centre stage and backdrops an inspirational National Day. Starting at dawn, we begin with a reflective moment to honour the nation's traditional custodians as the iconic Sydney Opera House sails are illuminated with spectacular Indigenous artwork. This coincides with the Australian Aboriginal and Australian national flags being raised together atop the Sydney Harbour Bridge, in a symbol, we hope, of unity, recognition and inclusion. And recognising the importance of the world's oldest living culture, Woogalora is a timeless morning ceremony we really encourage you to engage with, and it's a chance to respect and understand our First Nations cultures more deeply, the cleansing, reflecting and connecting with those people. Throughout the day, Sydney Harbour, in all its glory, will once again burst with colour. Spectacular celebrations across the harbour and iconic favourites returning, including the Harbour Parade, the Ferrython, the Tall Ships Race and Defence aerial displays. The Salute to Australia, which celebrates contributions of many homegrown heroes and celebrates new citizens of our great state, will signal also, we believe, hope and optimism. And the day will finish with the celebration of the Australia Day live concert at the Sydney Opera House. The forecourt will combine a spectacular land and water show with musical performances and a fireworks bonanza. There are also other ways to mark Australia Day in New South Wales, which we think is about sharing it with friends and family, reconnecting with the best of the Australian lifestyle and your community, attending local events across the state, exploring the regions, supporting local businesses, buying locally made Australian products, or coming into the Sydney CBD to enjoy the various attractions and hospitality that will be open and celebrating the day. And many significant Sydney events will also be broadcast on ABC TV and iView, and more details are available on australiaday.com.au. Finally, I would like to thank our 2021 New South Wales recipients for their quite incredible contributions to our community. Shane Fitzsimmons, Rosemary Kariuki, Auntie Isabel Reid and Nathan Parker. Unfortunately, this year has not allowed us to celebrate as much as we would have liked your amazing deeds and stories, but we look forward to a long, ongoing relationship with you and how we continue to celebrate the amazing works that you were awarded for in the last 12 months. You are exemplary Australians and you have done us all proud. I would now like to warmly welcome the Premier of New South Wales, the Honourable Dominic Perrottet, to say a few words, and thank you, Premier, for attending the night tonight.
Well, thank you, Andrew, and can I just say it's great to hear that as we're going through all those Australia Day events that we are getting back to normal, and refreshing to hear, and it's great to be here with you all tonight in person. Yvonne, can I thank you for the inspirational and very spiritual welcome to country you just gave, Your Excellency, to the nominees, but also the award winners from 2021. I think it's very important, as Andrew has pointed out, that you are recognised for the contribution that you have made. That was obviously recognised last year, but it's been a difficult year to be an award winner, and hopefully for the nominees tonight that we have a more successful year, an easy year next year. But I want to begin by telling a story. And it was in March 1950 that a German engineer received the happy news that his application to move to Australia had been approved. He arrived in Sydney on a steamship with his Belgian wife and was immediately overwhelmed by Sydney's humidity. They ran a service station, scrounged to buy a home, started a family and moved into the real estate business. Back in Germany, this engineer had survived the horrors of the Nazi concentration camps. He saw the worst of humanity firsthand. So when he came to Australia, he didn't just build a life for his family in Sydney. He dedicated his life to sharing a message of hope. He wanted to provide the antidote to the hatred that he'd experienced during the war. He helped create the City Jewish Museum, and he spent thousands of hours volunteering, sharing his message of hope with the people of our great state. That man was Eddie Jaku, and sadly he passed away just a few weeks ago. But he left this state a much better place. Eddie loved Australia. He called it the working man's paradise. He wrote, "I could not believe the opportunities Australia provided." Eddie was a great Australian, and his story is a classic example of the great Australian dream, but also of how our state and our nation are hoisted even higher by the efforts of the extraordinary people who call it home. In New South Wales in particular, I've always believed that what sets our state apart is its exceptional people. We relish a challenge. We cherish freedom and opportunity, and we make the most of what we have. Optimistic, energetic, hardworking and talented. That is the default setting of the people of New South Wales. So if you're a nominee tonight, you have stood out from what is already an extraordinary pack. But to do it this year, where so many Australians have gone above and beyond the call of duty, is truly remarkable. So I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to all the nominees this evening. These awards are about one thing above all else: service. Service takes generosity and humility. It often means putting yourself last. But these awards provide us with that opportunity to recognise the contribution of people who put others first: the community, our state and our nation. The Australian of the Year awards are intrinsically linked to our national identity. As time goes on, we continue to deepen our understanding of what it means to be Australian. Modern Australia is young by international standards, but it is especially young compared to the ancient traditions and history of our First Nations people. Only in more recent decades have we, as a nation, begun to truly understand how precious that heritage is. It is the first of three essential strands of our identity and our history. The other two are our British heritage and our great migrant heritage of people like Eddie Jaku, who have come here from every corner of the globe to make a better life for themselves and their families. All three of these strands are essential to understanding who we are as a nation today, and all three will play a vital role in forging a brighter future. And all three are represented in the outstanding group of nominees who we are honouring here this evening. So to the nominees, your efforts have earned you the respect and admiration of your community. You've already made a contribution to make our nation a much better place, and we recognise that tonight. But it's important to appreciate that our work is never done. The story of Australia is brimming with potential, and it is my belief that our nation's best days are still ahead of us. But if that is to be the case, those three different strands of our identity must be woven together. We must be united. We live in a time where division seems to be everywhere. So my challenge to you is to use this opportunity to unite our nation, because Australia will be at its best when all Australian hearts beat as one. You can make that happen, and I wish you all the very best of luck tonight. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Premier, for those inspiring words, and please do stay on stage with me as we move to the first award category. Okay, the time has arrived for our first 2022 Australian of the Year award, Australia's Local Hero. The Local Hero Award recognises Australians making a significant contribution in their local community. Those everyday people whose selflessness is humbling. Through their local community activity, these people inspire others nationwide to do something where they live. The nominees for the 2022 New South Wales Local Hero are
After losing his hospitality job in March 2020 due to the COVID-19 lockdowns, Anthony Cohen's thoughts turned to others. He created a central job board with his own funds, connecting people who were stood down in the airline and arts industries to more than 3,000 jobs. By October 2020, Anthony had more than 60 volunteers, helping thousands of Australians with resume writing, identifying their transferable skills, and job interview coaching. Now a registered charity, Anthony's social enterprise, Project Displaced, also offers the newly unemployed mindset coaching and mental health first aid. In 2015, after losing her baby through miscarriage, Samantha Sam Payne reached out to her friend Gabby Armstrong to share her grief. Realising there was no support for early pregnancy loss or miscarriage available in Australia, they decided to create it themselves. Together they founded the not-for-profit Pink Elephant Support Network. The organisation's mission is to ensure no one walks through pregnancy loss alone. Sam also lobbied the federal government for 3 years to get more support for early pregnancy loss, resulting in miscarriage being added to the compassionate and bereavement leave entitlement. In 2017, after working as an advocate in Mums for Refugees, Carmen Platt realised how many families could rebuild their lives more quickly if they had household basics. This inspired her to co-found the social enterprise The Generous and the Grateful, which works directly with frontline NGOs to provide essential household items to those in need. As CEO, Carmen leads a team of more than 50 volunteers who provide basics such as beds and white goods to multiple homes with vulnerable people each week. Her extraordinary compassion, dedication and care saw her named the 2021 RIDE Citizen of the Year. When Shanna Wan realised she was an alcoholic, giving up drinking was just the start. She began a one-woman campaign to drive conversations around the truth of our pervasive culture of alcohol in the bush. Shanna has dedicated her life since 2015 to saving lives across the country, first as a volunteer to help others locally, and now as the founder of national charity Sober in the Country. Sober in the Country provides tailored peer support through an online platform where hundreds of like-minded, isolated Australians are supporting each other to better health.
Incredible. We are all so very lucky to have people like you in our community, selfless and inspirational. Can I ask the 4 nominees to stand up if you are able where you are? And please join me in giving them a well-deserved round of applause. I now invite the Premier to announce the winner and present the trophy. Premier, tell us, who is the 2022 New South Wales Local Hero?
Well, clearly this was difficult given the quality of those contributions, and I can say though that the 2022 Local Hero for New South Wales is Shanna Wan.
Yeah, congratulations, Shanna. How are you feeling?
I'm doing exactly what the organisers said we should not do, which is don't assume you won't get the award and be unprepared. But I think I'm always prepared for advocating for the people I fight for. It's really emotional. I just feel so excited that the country, as in rural and remote Australians, are being recognised, because for me this is about them. So it's really amazing. Thank you.
Why do you love what you do so much?
I'm still laughing at the fact that I didn't even rehearse this on purpose. I love what I do because there is no more powerful voice in the entire universe ever than the voice of lived experience, than the voice of people who have survived something or been through something significant. I love what I do so much because through such a broken story can come such tremendous hope. And when I was an invisible alcoholic dying in plain sight of my own rural community, I just thought, it must only be me. I must be the only one. And to be building something so significant out of such a horrendous, desperately dark and awful place to bring hope for others, I just can't imagine a greater honour, and I can't imagine a greater purpose for what was never a broken life in the end, but a life meant to be lived exactly as it did. Because who better, to advocate for change in the bush around alcohol than a recovered alcoholic from the bush? Who knew?
Our 2022, keep the applause going, our 2022 New South Wales Local Hero. Thank you and congratulations once again, Shanna. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's yours, absolutely. I'm not at all. Now on to the Young Australian of the Year category. This award recognises inspiring young Australians aged between 16 and 30 who have accomplished great things already in all walks of life. I think we can all agree that the future of our country is looking very bright with these fantastic young people. Can I ask our 4 nominees to stand up if you are able, so we can acknowledge your work with a huge round of applause. And the nominees for the 2022 New South Wales Young Australian of the Year are...
Dr. Michael Muhammad Ahmad established the Sweatshop Literacy Movement in Western Sydney to empower culturally and linguistically diverse communities through reading, writing and critical thinking. The organisation provides mentoring to young people who come from often disadvantaged backgrounds, helping them express their frustrations and find solutions for change. Thanks to his leadership skills and powerful written voice, Muhammad has become an important role model for disenchanted young people in Western Sydney. He helps them harness their energy and engage constructively with the wider community using the written word as a tool. Inspired by his own experiences in the care system, Isaiah Noor founded ID Know Yourself, an Aboriginal mentoring organisation to support young people in and out of home care and in contact with the juvenile justice system. ID Know Yourself provides a platform that creates love, hope and family in their lives. Through his leadership and determination, Isaiah has helped countless Aboriginal children in foster care to reconnect with culture and family in country. He's given them a sense of their origins and a deeper connection to culture, belonging and their identity. Amelia Monday has used her academic talents to promote STEM education to young girls, while also developing technology to improve the lives of people with a disability. Amelia developed an app called Talk to the Hand, Learn Auslan, which helps teach Auslan to children who have sensory processing disorder. The technology has positively impacted individuals within the deaf community, including her brother, as it helps break down language barriers. Amelia is also an ambassador for the Tech Girls Movement Foundation. She provides support and encouragement to girls interested in pursuing STEM as a career. Identifying a gap in the healthcare of vulnerable people in New South Wales, Dr. Daniel Noor founded Streetside Medics in August 2020. It's a not-for-profit GP-led mobile medical service for people experiencing homelessness. Streetside Medics has changed the lives of more than 300 patients. Its clinics treat many communicable and non-communicable illnesses and detect conditions that would otherwise go unnoticed. With his leadership and social consciousness, Daniel is committed to making a real difference to the lives of many Australians. He's also making significant improvements to society.
Premier, could you please tell us who is the 2022 New South Wales Young Australian of the Year?
The winner of the 2022 Young Australian of the Year for New South Wales is Dr. Daniel Noor.
Congratulations, Daniel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Who inspires you?
Everyone in this room, honestly. I guess the voice of the people that seem to not have a voice in our society, they're the ones that really inspire me. I was really lucky to grow up in a relatively, comfortable family, but I always saw people living on the streets and recognise that they weren't provided the same opportunities that I was provided. And I'm inspired by them because every day they wake up and they keep trying and they keep persevering to become better people. And really, you should see in the communities, they help each other, they support each other, and they inspire me. And all the trailblazers in this room, the amazing people I'm with, you guys inspire me.
How will this, How will this award impact the delivery of your work?
Well, I think this just gives recognition to the service and the fact that there are 116,000 people in Australia experiencing homelessness, 7% of which are rough sleeping, and no one should be unable to access healthcare in Australia. We have the best healthcare system in the world, and really this means that we'll expand our service, hopefully interstate, and I don't want to leave a single person unable to access healthcare.
The 2022 New South Wales Young Australian of the Year. Thank you, and congratulations once again, Daniel. And thank you, Premier. You may take your seat, please. Thank you. I would now like to invite the ED Musos to perform for us. The ED Musos, short for Emergency Department Musicians, are a virtual choir and orchestra made up of singers, instrumentalists and dancers. The group is made up of over 400 healthcare workers from emergency departments in Australia, Aotearoa, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and occasionally Ireland and the United States of America, plus some of their family and friends. Tonight, they will be singing their cover of Better Be Home Soon by Crowded House. Due to COVID restrictions, we couldn't bring all of them here to Luna Park tonight to perform, so instead they'll be joining us virtually on screen, and we'll be joined live by Dr. Laura Brown from Westmead Hospital, Dr. Johan Alves, Royal North Shore Hospital, Dr. Ayanthi Pereira, Prince of Wales Hospital, and Professor Kate Curtis of Wollongong Hospital. Please join me in welcoming the ED Musos.
Somewhere deep inside, something's got a hold on you, and it's pushing me aside. See it stretch on forever, and I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. Stripping back the coat of lies and deception, back to nothingness, like a week in the desert. And I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon. So don't say no, don't say nothing's wrong. 'Cause when you get back home, maybe I'll be gone. When the lights go out, when you've had your fill, when there's nothing left, it would cause me pain if we were to end it. But I could start again. You can depend on it. And I know I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. That's why I tell you, you'd better be home soon.
Thank you, ED Musos. An amazing performance, so good. Our third award category is the Senior Australian of the Year. This award celebrates the ongoing achievements of Australians aged 65 years and over, who continue to challenge themselves and inspire others. Without these people, many things would not look the way they do today. Their sacrifice, determination and courage has shaped generations and will leave a lasting imprint for years to come. I'd like to ask our 4 nominees this evening to stand up if they are able, and please, ladies and gentlemen, another huge round of applause. Let's hear a bit more about them. The nominees for the 2022 New South Wales Senior Australian of the Year are
a former magistrate, head of the New South Wales Children's Court and District Court Judge Roger Dive showed compassion, understanding and dedication to the people who appeared before him in court. Roger spent 17 years of his career as head of the Drug Court of New South Wales, which puts drug-dependent offenders into a 12-month rehabilitation program, rather than sending them straight to jail. He's still in touch with some of the participants. Showing great humanity, humility and intelligence, Roger has impacted many lives for the better. After moving to Australia from Egypt, Abla Kudus helped set up the country's first welfare service for Muslim women while raising 5 children. She created the not-for-profit Islamic Women's Welfare Association, IWWA, to help Islamic women feel welcome and participate in their communities. The organisation offers anti-discrimination forums, school readiness programs, youth camps, cooking classes and events. It also provides food and other essentials to people in need. Impressively, Abla raised enough money through sewing, cooking and sourcing items to sell to buy a state-of-the-art function centre for IWWA. Spurred by the devastatingly high rate of suicide within the veteran community, 101-year-old World War II veteran Sergeant Bert Lemerton sought to make a positive difference. He planned to walk an accumulative 96 kilometres, the length of the Kokoda track, to raise funds for life-changing support services through veteran charity Soldier On. Sergeant Bert went on to walk more than 420 kilometres and raise $116,121. His actions and compassion for his fellow Australians inspired the nation to take a stance on veteran welfare. Many participated in the March On Challenge, raising over $1.85 million to help prevent veteran suicide. A Wiradjuri and Gamilaroi woman, Associate Professor Lynette Riley's role in Aboriginal education policy has changed how Aboriginal studies are taught across New South Wales. Lynette is a founding member of the New South Wales Department of Education's Aboriginal Education Unit. Her groundbreaking work to incorporate Aboriginal perspectives in the study of humanities has changed people's understanding of Aboriginal worldviews. Lynette is an expert in translating research findings to deliver practical, positive change for Aboriginal people. These include a community profiling tool to identify needs in Western New South Wales and a training tool to analyse resources for cultural bias.
Premier, if you would please join me on stage. All right, Premier, tell us. Who is the 2022 New South Wales Senior Australian of the Year?
2022 Senior Australian of the Year for New South Wales is Abla Kadus.
Congratulations, Abla Kadus, 2022 New South Wales Senior Australian of the Year. I would love to ask you, Abla, where does your passion come from?
Just what I've experienced with being so close to people.
Just get you to step up closer
Okay.
to me. Yeah, want to hear you, want to hear you. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, perfect. Just being around people and talking to people, they give us the energy to work for them. I prepared a few words, if you don't mind, because I knew that I was going to, if I get on stage, I'll be very nervous. So if you don't mind if I read a few minutes?
A few,
Yes,
yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I would like to start in the name of God. And I would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners. Of the many things I love about Australia is the way it opens its arms to immigrants like me that look different, wear different clothes, speak a different way. It has been my home for 54 years, ever since I was a teenager. And through my life, I have seen it be a place of purity, place where people from all over the world can come and join a community where they are free to make their lives better, where they are in a sense of equality and fairness built into the culture. In the last few years, however, I feel something has been lost from that. Somehow, that empathy, that realizing that each of us is a person with their own set of experiences has slipped. The idea of empathy and acknowledging our common humanity is important in every faith and belief system. Discrimination, something that we fought long and hard against, has become more widespread. This is why this award to me today isn't an award just to me. It's to Australia itself. That someone who dresses differently, looks different, has a different belief system, can receive such an award. It is a signal to us that someone who strives to uphold the best of Australian and Islamic values together can be recognized in this place we all call home. People's external appearances differ in shapes, sizes, and colors, but internally, we all have one common organ, that's the heart. It's up to each individual what they fill their hearts with. Anger, hatred, envy, grudges, jealousy, and arrogance, all fill it in with love, passion, sympathy, respect, modesty, and mercy. 38 years ago, when I chose to wear the hijab, that's my hair cover, I started to experience discrimination. This is when I decided to give up my career, filled my heart with the letter, and started volunteering to help people around me. I will answer any knock on my door and seek help from my Lord, then try my best to answer whatever the need is. Peace and harmony will only happen in our beautiful country, Australia, when our hearts are saying, it's okay to be different. It's okay to be different.
(2022) New South Wales Senior Australian of the Year. Thank you and congratulations once again, Abla.
Thank you.
Our final category this evening is the 2022 New South Wales Australian of the Year Award. This award category celebrates the achievements and contributions of eminent Australians who are role models for us all. They're trailblazers who don't wait to be asked. They see a need, share their talent, and inspire us all. Let's take a closer look at our nominees for the 2022 New South Wales Australian of the Year.
In 2016, Senior Behaviour and Disability Specialist Erica Gleeson founded Autism Swim to mitigate the risk of drowning for children on the autism spectrum. Children on the autism spectrum are 160 times more likely to drown than their peers. Many of them gravitate towards bodies of water because they associate water with alleviating their sensory needs. However, they often have limited ability to perceive its risks and dangers. Through Autism Swim, Erica's unwavering commitment to the cause is improving and saving the lives of many individuals with autism all over the world. Dungari woman June Rima is the Deputy CEO of First Peoples Disability Network, FPDN. She works hard to ensure that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have culturally appropriate access to the National Disability Insurance Scheme, NDIS. An accomplished speaker, June is respected for telling it like it is. She shares real insights based on her extensive work and travel within Australia's Aboriginal communities, particularly in rural and remote areas. June's vision and leadership has helped FPDN become a national organisation that's making a difference. A materials scientist, engineer and inventor, Professor Veena Sahajwalla is renowned for pioneering the high-temperature transformation of waste, turning it into a new generation of green materials and products. Veena is most well known for her invention of polymer injection technology, or green steel. In 2018, she launched the world's first e-waste microfactory and created her own green ceramics and plastics microfactories the following year. Also known for her role as a judge on ABC TV's The New Inventors, Veena has been instrumental in raising the profile of science and engineering, enhancing public understanding of its importance. For more than 3 decades, Lynn Williams has made significant contributions to musical performance and development in Australia. As the founder and artistic director of Gondwana Choirs, Lynn commissions original works, many of which speak to the connection between the traditional owners and their land. Lynn's choirs have shaped the course of thousands of lives, with former choristers becoming future performing artists and composers. She nurtures the talents of music lovers who then share their learning with others.
Can I please ask our 4 nominees to stand up if you are able, where you are, and let's give these amazing Australians a massive round of applause. Premier, please, for the final time tonight, tell us, who is the 2022 New South Wales Australian of the Year?
2022 Australian of the Year for New South Wales, Professor Veena Sawajwala.
Congratulations, Professor Veena Sawajwala, 2022 New South Wales Australian of the Year. Tell us a little about what inspired you to do the work that you do, Veena.
I guess, I mean, when you think about, what we as human beings expect the planet to do for us, just everyday things that we need in our everyday lives, from the clothes we wear, the homes we live in. And then on the other hand, we also realize that there are so many people on the planet who don't quite have the kind of privileges that we do. So for me personally, it's always been about, we can't keep taking so much from the planet. We have to find a way to do better. I think it's more than just about the environment, and that's why I guess the planet is about people, and people across the world who actually live in such difficult conditions. We have to do better, and I think for me, as an Australian, I just feel so humbled that we live in a country that respects people, respects our environment, respects science, and more importantly, respects the fact that, we have to look after all human beings, and that's what I love about what I do.
That's what you love. I was going to say, why do you love what you do so much? That fire in your belly, you can hear it, feel it. So how will this award impact the delivery of your work?
I think it is important because, in a way, if you think about all those amazing people in Australia who are passionate about, waste recycling, are passionate about manufacturing, who are doing so much across the country, I think to me, it is actually an award where everyone who works so tirelessly in this field, and it can be somebody who's running a small business. It could be somebody who's, at a local council. I just remember meeting and chatting to some incredibly fantastic people at the local council where I was only a couple of weeks ago. It was Shoalhaven City Council, and I just remember that the fact that there are these incredibly amazing and inspiring people who do this work, and you sit there and you listen to them and you go, wow, you make it so much better for everyone in your community. All those business people, the small businesses who want to contribute in a positive way. I think to me, anyone who works in the field of taking care of the waste resources, worrying about the kinds of waste we all generate, whether you're working in a council or a business or in any other part of government sector, I think to me, this actually indicates that this issue is got to be something that we as Australians can actually hopefully inspire the rest of the world, because we know how to work together. We know how to collaborate, and we know how to make a difference and a real impact on our communities.
Ladies and gentlemen, your New South Wales Australian of the Year. Thank you and congratulations once again, Tabina. And Premier, thank you once again for joining us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and make some noise for our 4 recipients tonight. Woo! Keep it going. I just want to keep it going. To all our nominees here today, congratulations. Someone in your community thinks you are amazing, and you are. To our recipients, well done. Of course, none of today would be possible without our national partners. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge them, who together make this awards program possible. We just couldn't do any of this without your support. Our National Diversity and Inclusion partner, Chevron, helps us to inspire and foster unity and connect people of all ages and backgrounds. The Australian of the Year category partner, Australia Post, supports our national recipient in the delivery of their message nationwide. The Department of Health is our category partner for the Senior Australian of the Year award. The Department of Education, Skills and Employment is our Young Australian of the Year category partner. And the Department of Home Affairs is the Local Hero Award category partner. Here are some brief messages from them.
Ingenuity,
creativity
and innovation,
passion,
purpose and the pursuit of excellence,
mateship,
inclusion,
and the idea of a fair go.
At Chevron, we call it human energy.
That's why we support the Australian of the Year Awards.
As the National Diversity and Inclusion partner, celebrating the achievement
of outstanding Aussies
from every corner of our great country
and from every walk of life.
Because we're all part of the story.
For over 200 years, Australia Post has been at the heart of Australian communities, connecting them to each other and the world. We're thrilled to recognise the incredible Australian of the Year award recipients who make such a profound contribution to their communities and to our nation. We're proud to support the Australian of the Year award and join you in celebrating these inspiring Australians.
This award is given to people from all walks of life who have dedicated their lives to making a difference, be it through education, science, advocacy, sport, and many other fields of endeavour for their fellow Australians and the community. It celebrates commitment, it celebrates facing adversity and staying the course. It celebrates lifelong learning and giving. It speaks to the wealth of experience and wisdom senior Australians bring to our nation, recognising the drive and commitment of those who continue to achieve and contribute, inspiring all generations. I congratulate all nominees and thank them for their contribution to furthering our nation.
As the Federal Education and Youth Minister, I want to take this opportunity to congratulate and recognise all of the nominees for the Young Australian of the Year Award for this year. Each of you has been recognised by your state and territory government for making an absolutely outstanding contribution to your state or territory, and I want to thank you for that. You are a great ambassador and great role model for so many others, and I wish you well in the overall finals, which of course will be announced on Australia Day in the not too distant future. All the very best.
Australia's Local Hero Award recognises everyday Australians who have seen an opportunity to make their community a better place. Through their extraordinary commitment and selfless efforts, these local heroes have made a real and enduring difference. Congratulations to all of the finalists in the Australia Local Hero Awards. You are an inspiration to all of us.
I would also like to thank our broadcast partner, the ABC, who support us year-round and will screen the national announcement live on ABC and iView on January 25th, which begins a day of programming to reflect, respect and celebrate on Australia Day. Our media partner, Australian Community Media, supports our call for nominations through their unique collection of community-based local newspapers and websites that span the nation, and help us inspire millions of Australians by telling the stories of our extraordinary state and territory recipients. Our alumni partner is the International Day of People with Disability. This day, on December 3rd each year, challenges the way we think about disability to help grow a more inclusive Australia. We thank our national accommodation partner, Crown Plaza. We appreciate your warm hospitality for our travelling nominees and recipients, especially each January. Thanks goes to our cultural partner, the Australian National University, who through its schools of art and music designed and produced our trophies and composed and performed music at our events. Our thanks to exhibition partner, the National Museum of Australia, who delivers the Australian of the Year exhibition in Canberra and around the country throughout the year. And last but certainly not least, we appreciate the continued support of our legal partner, Minter Ellison. Please join me in thanking our national partners for their vital ongoing support. Congratulations again to all our recipients: Shanna Wan, 2022 New South Wales Local Hero; Dr. Daniel Noor, 2022 New South Wales Young Australian of the Year; Abla Kadus, 2022 New South Wales Senior Australian of the Year; Professor Veena Sahajwala, 2022 New South Wales Australian of the Year. We will need you to please take some photos, so don't go too far. On behalf of all of us, I wish our recipients and nominees every success in their future endeavours. To our recipients, we wish you all the best on the national stage on January 25th. That brings us to the end of the formal proceedings. I encourage you all to think about the people who inspire you in your communities, networks and families. You can nominate someone now for the 2023 Australian of the Year Awards at australianoftheyear.org.au. And finally, please do stay and enjoy the rest of the evening with us in the room behind you. You'll find your table number on the ticket you presented upon entry, and event staff are also on hand to assist in finding your table. I ask you to follow the directions of event staff as they guide you into the dining area. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a very good evening.